Praise him. Get up, get out, get to it. My name is Kwame Thompson. I'm a supervisor at Jacoby Hospital SNUG. And the last 3 days I experienced something amazing. When I say get up, get out of that space you're in, get out of your own way and get to something that works. Coaching really works. How do I know? My second day of coaching, we had an exercise where they paired us up and I was coached. And I said, you know what? I got a situation in my life that I want some help in. So I kept it all the way 100. Me and my fiance was going through some turbulence. We couldn't see eye to eye on communicating. When I was being coached, the coach used the tools that we just got in the second day, and it was so effective. I got some homework, went home and utilized what I was taught in this training. And on the second day of training, my relationship turned around for the better. So I know it works.
If we communicate more with people as far as seeing the bottom line of it, coaching gives you the bottom line. It makes you go deeper into what that person's feeling. You know, instead of looking at a person's actions, coaching makes you go deeper and makes them feel like get to the bottom line, and that's what helps them. And we can't get to the bottom line because we didn't walk in their shoes. So the only person that can really help us is us. And if we give them the tools that we got that's helping us, then that'd be better for them.
And we participated in the 3-day training here, and I've got so much out of this. And when they say you can't teach a new dog new tricks, they're lying. As a 58-year-old metaphorically speaking dog, I'm learning a lot. And I would advise anyone out there to think they can't learn anything new, that you're fooling yourself. This training has been very essential to me. It opened me up and it gave me a new way of being able to relate to other people other than the way that I'm accustomed to.
Hello, my name is Eddie Miranda. I am an outreach supervisor at Jacoby Hospital SNUG program. One of the things that I enjoyed about this training, I came in a bit apprehensive. I wanted to see what new skills I can gain. And one of the things that I realized quickly was that it's one of the best ways to communicate and get our community able to speak about their feelings without putting a negative connotation that the community has on psychology or on just speaking about your problems, that stigma that's in our community. So I believe that coactive listening and speaking and coaching in our community is going to be able to open doors for those young people and older people that can benefit from sitting down with someone, speaking with someone, and coming up with their own answers. And that's one of the things that we learned here, is that that's the empowerment that we can give as coaches, is to put the power back in their hands and give them the opportunity to find their dreams, move forward, and take that power back.
So I'm Teresa, and I'm from the Rochester SNUG here in Rochester. And what I've learned from the coactive model is a lot of different things in terms of active listening, that there's 3 levels of listening. I've also learned about boundaries and being more open. One of the things that I really took away from this is that it's essential to have boundaries and not overstep your boundaries when you're dealing with any kind of relationship. The coactive model is definitely essential for people of my background. And when I say my background, I mean my minority background. I think it's very essential for us to learn more in our community about these kinds of things that go on, and that we should be able to be aware of these things that are happening in our environment. We're not really taught these type of things. Sometimes lack of knowledge, it's hurtful. If you don't know certain things and you don't have this type of information or access to it, you're not going to be able to learn these things. So a lot of these things are hidden, especially when it comes to us learning. And when I say us, I mean in the minority field. So I definitely learned a lot. This experience was great. I love the people that we had to work with. It was absolutely amazing. And I hope that we continue to learn different models and different aspects when it comes to us doing CTI trainings.
I just have completed the fundamentals part of the training, and I'm looking forward to going back to my site and using it with my participants as well as other clients. One thing that really stuck with me was the levels of listening. A lot of times we're stuck in level 1, especially when it comes to working with people because we're trying to help them, but coaching really focuses on being in level 2 and 3 and allowing the client to help themselves. And I think that that's something that's important instead of trying to lead them to a goal. So I look forward to using that, and then also just being very aware of what makes my client happy, looking at that body language, making sure that I stick with that and bring that out of them more. So I'm looking forward to using coaching when I get back to my site.
Like coming up where I'm from and stuff, we ain't have nobody from life coaches or nothing like that. It was the older dudes on the block who told us what to do, and they wasn't telling us no positive things to do. Like, they wasn't listening to our story about what we was going through or any of that. They was just giving us drugs and guns to whatever, That's how the coaches we had coming up. So for me, growing and working in this field, I see like a lot of these young dudes really need that, like somebody to talk to and really listen to them and hear them out. So one thing that really stood out to me about the training is as you read the model, it basically breaks down everything, like every feeling or whatever what every word mean, and you could listen to how they feel about it instead of like talking to them or talking at them. Like you just should sit back and listen to what they got to say.
Hi everybody, my name is Karja Dawkins Hamilton. I'm the program director for Jacoby Medical Center, Jacoby SNUG. I'm also a licensed social worker. So coming into this training, I was a little hesitant because you're not quite sure what you're going to get, what new information people are going to share. But I definitely like this model because it allows me to really put back the power into my clients' hands and into my coachees' hands. I think it's a great model because it just basically is simple. I think sometimes mental health can be a little complicated because it's like, what model am I using? What method do I use? And it's just simply just being and having that person be themselves and bring out those positives and those dreams and those hopes themselves. So I like that about coactive coaching. I also love this model for our community because our community, we are basically trained from children all the way up that, you do as you're told. So reaching inside for your dreams is not something that you're told to do. And I shared earlier that had my mother tried to use this kind of way of raising me as opposed to telling me what to do, really trying to see what was inside of me, there's no telling what I could have become. So I think one great thing about this is that our community definitely hate mental health. We don't want to be told we need to go to therapy, but to get a coach, to get someone who is on your side, working with you, side by side, you guys are doing it together, but you're the one coming up with these ideas and you're digging deep to see where the weaknesses are and where some of the strengths is and what your real hopes and dreams are. I think this is an amazing tool for our community, and the possibilities are endless if people could be coached, just because it's just so much inside that want to come out. And if we could give that just a little bit of a chance to come out, the world would change. This would be amazing.
I learned a couple of things from the fundamentals training and on the coactive model of coaching. First and foremost, the whole vulnerability piece and asking people for permission. It tends to create a safe space. So, for me personally, the way that I was brought up, it was it was no vulnerability. I always had to be straightforward. I never felt like I could be myself in dealing with people, but I felt like the vulnerability that I show get other people to open up and be vulnerable themselves. It's the little things. Being an actual listener. Sometimes you think you're listening and you're not even listening effectively. And I feel like the things that I learned about active listening would help me in my personal life as well as my professional life and coaching others.
Hello, I am Isabel Rosa, the program manager for the Rochester SNUG. And I am really happy I get the opportunity to give feedback, because I've been thinking about this when I go home. I've been thinking about this life coach training way beyond the 8 hours that we've been here getting trained. It's really done a lot for me internally. I'm not gonna have enough time to say how much I got out of it in this interview. And it wasn't just me. I saw my staff registering what was going on. I saw one of the most strongest outreach workers that I have, but he has been kind of closed in. He's a closed in individual. He's, and the fact that he was participating and that he understood and that he really was working the programs, the different exercises and whatnot, just seeing him do that made me feel so much better. So I know that the team is also getting the skills, and not just getting them, but really understanding how to apply them, when to apply them. And I think with some more practice, right, which is definitely something that I'm going to take back with us. We're going to keep practicing. We're going to keep doing role playing, because it's so important for them to be able to do that with the youth, with the participants. And I think that's the gap that has been filled now.
But through this training, we learned how to coach a person, make them comfortable where they're at, and bring out the solution that's already inside in a way that you only can do through this type of training. I am really empowered, grateful, and I'm excited. I already got a plan on using the skills from coaching, because see, a lot of times we have to realize it's not therapy, but what we learned in here, that this coaching could be very therapeutic, and that's important. So I'm already seeing about even my 15-year-old daughter, how the skills and the tools that they gave us, the different levels of listening, everything about the powerful questions, about being able to be reflective, and all these different things that I'm already going to apply with my own daughter. That's how important this training is to me. And there's a lot of young people out there, high risk, that needs people to be trained in these areas so we can be very effective helping to change lives, change community norms, do what we do best. But now we're properly prepared to do just that. Get up, get out, get to it. Coaching is where it's at.